my god.
What's up guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at two different electric e-bikes which are perfect for the city commute at two different price points. We're looking at the Gen X and the Fido D11. With commuting to London, stuff like the underground congestion, 20-mile-an-hour top speeds, and the restriction and almost the policing of alternative transport, there must be a better way to get around this capital. This is where the Gen X and the Fido 11 come into play. These two electric bikes from eScooter Clinic could be your answer to enjoy the city and the capital in a brand new way. Now, both these bikes are featuring an IP54 waterproof rating, which is protecting all the electrical components from rain and splashes, which is an essential for the rough UK weather, especially during winter. Now, with a city bike, it really comes down to versatility, lightweight and convenience. So the first thing we're going to look at between these two bikes is the size. Now, the Fido is sporting a more of a classic traditional bike style, nice and high up, featuring a suspension system. However, the Gen X is more smaller, narrower, and is more manoeuvrable through the tightest of London traffic. If you see in this example, I have a little bit of difficulty getting through some of the traffic in London. Now, here's a prime example. I was not able to get through this gap just due to the width of the handlebars of this bike. So if you're looking for more of an agile bike, that might be the one to go for. Now I'm kind of stuck here and I can't really go any further. So 1 point to the Fido for agility. I was just saying, there's a big difference between the handlebars. The handlebars seem shorter. It's more of a sleek bike, so you can squeeze through this gap a bit easier. So with the Gen X, you actually do have that super smooth suspension system. That is one thing you are missing on the Fido. One of the surprising factors between these two bikes is that the Gen X has a battery of 208.8 watt hours. However, the Fido, which is a smaller, more compact bike, has double the range at 417.6 watt hours, which is incredibly surprising for me. A compact, small design having double the range of a full-size bike absolutely blew my mind away. So it's one amazing factor between these two bikes, and it's a cheaper option. So from the first initial impressions of these two bikes, the main thing that stands out the difference is the wheel size. Now, with this bike, we've got a 20-inch wheel, which has that kind of no suspension system. So this is for compact, sleek, small designs for those city commutes. If you want more of a traditional bike with that suspension system, it makes all the difference. With that 27-inch tyre and that suspension paired together, you have a nice, comfortable cruising ride, which makes all the difference on some of the Roman ancient roads that we have in the UK. So this one so far is a really comfortable ride, or you want something you can slide under your desk, it's that way. So we've got two different options to start with. Now, one thing both these bikes share is that top end cap of 15.5 miles an hour and the same motors of 250 watts each. So it doesn't necessarily matter which e-bike you choose in the UK, because with UK regulations you are always capped at that 15.5 mile an hour top speed, which does make pricing a little bit easier. You're not worrying about motor sizes or top speed because that's as fast as they go. The only thing you can change is the wheel sizes. So if you've got that 20-inch wheel or that 27.5-inch wheel, you get more torque or more top speed, depending on what you're looking for. Now, with that smaller wheel on the Gen X, this was more apparent at red lights when we're pulling away when the lights turned green. With that smaller wheel, it had more torque and pulled away so much more faster than the Fido bike. One thing that the Fido bike that is a massive difference between the Gen bike is, as you can see here, its folding design. This is already a small and compact design already, but with a simple hinge mechanism here, you can fold this bike to be even smaller. This is one of the things you do sacrifice between these two bikes. This one doesn't feature that suspension system, but it does have that small, compact design. So you need to ask yourself what is more suitable for your preferences. Now, from our testing out in the London streets, we discovered a nice little trick with the Fido bike. With a couple short presses and holding down the different modes on the display for the Fido bike, we learned you could actually have this bike at throttle only when riding, which unlocks a whole new way of riding. I can now ride this bike with just the throttle only and cruise along, which is nice. And if I need to stop for any reason, I can literally swap it back super easily. So I'm going to try and get through this tiny gap now. Ding. Oh, there's no way I'm getting through there. Am I going to get through there? Yes! We have made it all the way up to the Tower of London, and what is one of the unique characteristics of the Gin bike compared to the Fido bike? Now this bike actually has a hot swappable design, so if you want to simply just take out the battery which is inside the body of the bike, it is easy to take in with you. So you could leave this bike at a bike shed locked up, and you could take the internal battery into the office to charge your bike. Now both these chargers have a 2 amp charger, which is fine, but I do wish they had a faster option. So another thing you could do potentially is have a full complete additional battery, so you could hot swap it when you get to the office. But having a hot swappable battery is a big win from me. Now one interesting factor about when we was filming these two bikes, doing some B-roll, is that the Fido bike gained a lot of attention from the public. A lot of people liked the futuristic, slim and fold-in design, and we were bombarded with loads of questions, which shows that this bike is a real head turner. One thing you might notice about today's conditions, they're not ultimately the best weather conditions at all. But one thing that's good about both these bikes is they are IP waterproof. All right, let's smoke Billy. So that's the horn. Which no one listened to in London, but it's a nice feature anyway. So we just stopped for a simple lunch, a little bit of coffee to refuel ourselves. Parked the bikes out front, and we've got a really nice beautiful spot to chill out and have a little bit of a break at. Now these two bikes come at two different price points. This smaller Fido comes in at $7.99 and the larger Gin bike comes in at $9.99. So there's two different price points to look at, which is kind of suitable. With the larger bike, it is costing a little bit more with their suspension. Overall, I'm really liking the Gin, and I'm excited to have a little bit more go on the Fido bike.
So a really cool thing about this bike right here is the battery. It is actually located in the seat post. It literally is the seat post. So as you adjust the seat, you are adjusting the actual battery and where it sits as well. So if you are adjusting your seat, you're actually adjusting how high or how low the battery is. If you want to take the battery out, it's super easy. Underneath here, there's a blue sort of tightening screw. You just loosen it, put it off, pull the seat up, all the way up to the top. It's quite a big battery. And that's your seat post or your battery. And we have discovered how high up you can really put the seat. And you can see here, it's so high. So if you're an extremely tall person, if you're an extremely tall person, then this bike's got you covered. You might just need an extension for this cable right here.
You might need to run and jump.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. So riding these bikes through the city streets, I've discovered that the Gin X and the Fido all come down to how you interact with the city and how your commute will look like. If you're looking for a small, compact, throttle only, futuristic style bike, you might want to check out the Fido X, which actually is sporting a larger battery compared to the Gin. If you're looking for a more suspension, comfortable riding position for a traditional bike, you want to check out the Gin X. Once again, I like to give you two different options on what you think is more suitable for your own personal commute. And for the price point, it is a really refreshing way to interact with the city with these two bike options, and each bike has its own merits and disadvantages depending on what you are looking for. I would love to know what your opinion is on which one you think kind of won the overall review of these two bikes, but in my opinion they are two different types of commuting situations. Anyway, that is the full summary of these two bikes. I hope you gained some more information. If you are interested in looking at these bikes, please check out eScooter Clinic for the best prices and availability within the UK. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Take care and peace.